Roll call!
Here.
I'm Nergigante and I'm here to say that I'm here.
Why do you do that?
Why does Nergigante do what?
Talk about yourself in the third person.
Nergigante does
Stop it!
Hi, Falconer, and I'm here to say...
No!
So then, my fellow frosty hunters... Now that we have seen plenty of Iceborne gameplay itself, along with a few other choice morsels, there is plenty of new monsters hinted at, or at least the space created for them to slot so sweetly in, to the point where if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be like...
Disappointed!
So these are the 5 that I think are, well, the evidence points towards yes. Starting then with, well, we've talked about this a little bit before, the rest of the flagships. With getting Glavenus, everything else is just now a free-for-all because Glavenus was low down the list of likelies, but we got him anyway, so really, anything could happen at this point, and that, coupled with the anniversary photo, how strongly hinted they all are, the fact they all seemingly do have brand new shiny models of varying degrees of fidelity. Well, I've done a whole video about this theory, and it is starting to stand up more and more and more. They have heavily hinted in interviews that we have not seen even the tip of the iceberg of new monsters, and that we're going to be very excited when we do get them revealed, which points to, you know, very well-loved, famous, older reintroductions, i.e. the flagships. And in an even more recent interview since E3, well, they've said that while they are faithful recreations the oldies brought back, Tigrex is Tigrex, they have had to go with a different type of skeleton setup to make it simpler, to make it actually work, to make it easier, which you could read into, well, the Geocrus, he got cut because they couldn't get his skeleton to work. His neck was too wobbly. And if they have simplified the skeleton to alleviate that problem, then it adds even more credence to this. So definitely the flagships are looking likely. But let's talk more tangibly stuff we saw at, well, E3 / all the other teasers we've had. This area on the map, this creepy Rotten Vale-esque area, this is very suspect. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, this is for something's home. This is a new monsters or new old monsters home, and obviously Giganox and Khezu are the more likely suspects here, but it's a creepy blood-red lit corpse cave. That has gotta be something terrifying's nest. It just has to be. This gotta be. Tigrex doesn't sleep there, we know that. Beotodus doesn't, Banbaro doesn't, which means... there has to be something else on the Hoarfrost Reach that makes use of this. I refuse to accept it's just for flavor, or just an occasional zone some things will move into. Yeah, it could just be a cave that predators drag their meals, but again, Tigrex doesn't sleep there and they drag their meals to their den. So to me, this is just alluding heavily to something a little bit, well, you know, terrifying. Not that kind of terrifying, but I am all for a Khezu Giganox return. I'd like both, honestly. I think they're both fantastic, though I think I would err towards Giganox, but even if it's an insectoid type creature, that would be incredible too. I really think we need a new insect. The variety it adds is just fantastic, and it would just be deliciously creepy to have it skittering around the ceiling while you are in that environment. It would be absolutely lovely. So yeah, this to me is the biggest flag of something is coming, something that we're gonna be really like, oh, at, and I cannot wait. We're gonna get so many more reveals as we get towards the actual release date, and mark my words, something creepy will call this place home. I like, Khezu is the 4th most popular monster in Japan, or at least around there. He keeps making good appearances on polls, and now we have an icy map with caves covered in corpses. Come on! In at number 3 then, it's been too long since we've had the mammalian monsters strike lovely. Well, I was going to say fear, but mostly they're just adorable and quirky. I mean, I miss Congalalala. I miss even the destruction fists of Rajang, really. I miss Ketchawetcha. People don't talk about Ketchawetcha enough. Mr. Adorable, or Mr. Fucking Horrifying.
Oh, God!
Yeah, depending on, you know, his mood, but look, there's just something in the air that tells me we will get another fanged wyvern covered in fur. Or, you know, maybe if we take it even further, get an actual fanged beast itself and be the first one in Monster Hunter World. The little monkeys in the hot springs, okay? They are the most adorable things you have ever seen, and of course, unlike any other endemic life. Now, you can't just say, oh look, we'll get one of them, make it big, have an endemic life drome, and party with the monkeys! That would be amazing, but at the same time, very unlikely. Then again, if we had Giginox, would the Giggies count as endemic life? Would you be able to catch the little squirmy bloodsuckers? That would be kinda interesting to have in your room. I doubt it, but they definitely are the scale of endemic life. But either way, I really like that we are getting new mammally small monsters. There's really just, I mean, not many. The hairs off the top of my head, but the hairs off the top. I mean the rabbits, but like the hair. But then we should look further afield to the Wulgs, our lovely new mounts in the Hoarfrost Reach. Now the question of course is, are they Shamos in that they are just, you know, a pack of small monsters with no great or large member, or are they actually going to have a Wulg drome or a great Wulg or something along those lines? And I mean, I hope so. It would make sense. It would be a fantastic little fun fight, a real agile, essentially Snow Odogaron or Snow Kadachi? Snowby Kadachi! Okay. But, for example, look at this incredible concept by a Mr. Box of Randomness for the Great Wulg. Wouldn't that work? Just lovely? Covers himself in snow, has sticky spit that gets you wrapped up in snow if you're not careful, much like Nikakis' mucus mechanic, and he'd just be a nice sort of introductory monster to go alongside the same tier as Banbaro and Beotodus. Hell, I'd be totally fine with making a great of a small monster actually be properly threatening. Why have we never had a drome or a great that is up there, well, with the higher tiers? At least tier 2, make it properly threatening, something to actually be feared, the leader of this, well, kind of badger wolf pack. The Wulgs can even jump on your hunter, wrap themselves round you, and actually essentially grapple you as you try and shake them off, much like little Zamites or, well, Giggies themselves attaching to you. So that makes me feel like there is something a little bit extra going on with these guys, and we might very well see who, well, rules the entire lot of them. That's something very exciting. But what is even more exciting is the Fated 4. And, look, initially, again, I was like, not a chance. But we got Glavenus, we did. And earlier on, we talked about how it's very likely the Leviathan skeleton is working, which means Mizutsune. You're beautiful. So, Fated 4 implementation. But look, it's easy for me to be just like, well, let's just do it. Let's just throw him in. Haha, yeah. Is there anything kind of responsible for this? I mean, there's a mammoth halberd, but then again, this just looks like Banbaro's. It doesn't really look that much like actual Gammoth one from the old game, so I'm hesitant to use this as tangible evidence. But at the same time, what really has got me thinking about this is there was a screenshot officially from in-game, and there is a lunch user who appears to be wielding what very much looks like something glowing and green. Very similar to the aesthetic that Astalos is known for. I can't really think of anything currently in-game that would have, well, this look to it. I really can't. So is this just the subtlest little tidbit, the subtlest little hint that Astalos is going to be on the way, that we might in fact see him? And think about it, what would be one of the hypest ways to introduce Iceborne, to really kick it up a notch, beyond adding old favourites like Tigrex and Nagakuga? What about bringing the fated fucking four? Glavenus leading the charge. I refuse to accept that they could bring him by himself. Yes, he's technically the most flagshipy of them. He is the one if you had to choose one. But at the same time, I feel like he would just raise questions of where is the others. They're all so beloved. It's hard to think maybe Gammoth, but then again we have Popo, and Gammoth very much likes to look after the Popo, and we could see some beautiful interactions as we follow them around with the Gilly Mantle. The map is supposed to be larger than any other map by a fair bit. You could have a lovely zone dedicated to the colossal Gammoth fight, and I know I am basing this off a green glowing weapon, but there isn't any monster in the game of World that you could describe as green and glows. So, and obviously past the colour and, you know, the glowing part of it, it definitely has the Astalos aesthetic going to it. It really, really does. The spike on the end especially. And obviously it's entirely possible I'm wrong. It's entirely possible I've forgotten a monster. I'm like, oh yeah, obviously it's that one. Hell, I totally could be. But, oh, it's fun to believe, isn't it? Yes, it is. So perhaps, perchance, we are going to see ourselves the Fated Four. And the thing is, we're getting Glavenus on the waist. Maybe, just maybe, we get ourselves Mizutsune in the Highlands. Maybe we see Astalos maybe fly around the Vale. That could be kind of cool for that little psychopath. And then Gammoth in the Reach. Who knows? Either way, and number one then, it has to be, of course, Fatalis himself. There are too many things building up to it. I really, really think so. I don't think Volcana is going to be the be-all, end-all. I think it will very much nudge you where the true threat gets revealed, and if not then, I think it will come in a content update. They've already confirmed, they've said we're going to get new monsters and new events and such as time progresses, like we did with Base World. Fatalis looming on that photo, them reminding us so hard he exists, his sexy new model, and there's so much to point in that direction that we get the most incredible reborn version of Fatalis so far, that we get something seriously worthy of his lore strength, of his malice, of his majesty. And I, for one, am very excited for that possibility. I, for one, think that that is the perfect capstone to this expansion that is just sunk deep with nostalgia. They are cascading us with old favourites. Perhaps they will outnumber the new monsters. Hell, it's seeming likely. And out of all the old favourites, the most renowned and powerful is the Fatalis. Again, this is a theory I've covered in a video before. If you want the nitty-gritties, greetings and details. I don't need either of those words. I shall just use greetales from now on. But no, I bet my tongue Fatalis is coming. And I think that is going to be just fantastic. What a legendary battle that could turn out to be. And the thing is that also makes me believe this is they have confirmed that there will be multiple new maps or combat areas in Iceborne, but we know the Hoarfrost Reach is the only actual normal, new map. So we should, in theory, based off that, get some places like the Zora maps, or like where you fight Xeno'jiiva. So what kind of monster would need its own map? Something like Kulve Taroth, an event, the Caverns of El Dorado. And Fatalis having his own little area? Yeah, you can bet that is worthy, because it could be something like Ucanlos or a Cantor, Them and Barioth are likely. We seem to be getting all the pseudo-Wyvern skeletons, but I have a hard time feeling a Cantor coming. Ucanlos I could see, but maybe not a Cantor. And you'd have to have a new area for both, which already adds 2 more. But I think that perhaps, perchance, we are getting a new dedicated area for whatever the Xeno equivalent is, and I think it's very likely to be Fatalis. Either way, this is just a few little observations, theory, hype, fun, and thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed listening. I hope you very much get involved. Tell me what you think, your own theories and ideas down below. I love reading reading them. I read every comment. You guys are fantastic. Like you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, hit the bell, all that jazz. I'll see you soon. A goodbye.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.